fathers and those who came before us, and those who came before those who came before us, lived through this very earth. It's only changed. Of course, it changed on certain aspects to the better, like technology advances, giving birth to artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, etc. Of course, it improved medicine, it improved healthcare, etc. It improved way of life, and life expectancy has increased uh, as compared to the early 80s or the 90s or the 60s. That said, it's still the same earth. So when I hear some unrealistic attributes of how things should be done, I get scared because the formula to success is one. It's about developing an attitude to listen and follow guidance. Develop an attitude to inquire and be always passionate about what you do and knowing that tomorrow will be better depending on what you do today. When those equations start getting shifted, I get worried because I'm also living on this earth, right? That if you don't work hard, you can succeed. That others need to help me and they must help me by force. That's entitlement, and that is how it should be. No, that if I don't work hard, then I will succeed. No. So I would love to see where these concepts are tested and they're working, and I would also like to learn from them. And I would like to know where it has worked and where it has not worked. So to answer your question, it was not a question, it's a conversation. What you're saying is very correct, but I would love those principles. So for example, when a young person say they are going through a lot, I don't understand that when I was going to the farm and carrying cocoyams and it was raining and itchy on my body, that when I get up and trek to school without shoes, that when I was doing a PhD, using a bike, riding every day and coming back home at 11 because I'll finish and go to Royal Mail, that even as I do work now, I work round the clock, and even on weekends, I'm working. That somebody would say he or she is going through a lot when he literally gets up in the morning, eats, giving money, go to school to study, then comes back and complain that they're going through a lot. So it's still something that if I was to do a second PhD, I would like to understand it.
Yeah, so I think that you also bring up good points, and I think that you have brought up the idea of although things have changed, the struggles are still remaining today. And I think that this brings us to another point, which is struggles still remain the same today. People still don't have food, people still don't have water, people don't still have equitable access to healthcare.
Right.
And these are things that, unless we stand up for and advocate for, they'll continue to remain the same. So, what can we say? What ideas, what solutions, what innovative solutions can we bring? And how can young people of today be able to bring what we have, like AI and technology, to solve the problem that have are still prevalent today that were prevalent like 50, 60 years ago?
Excellent question. Brilliant. All your questions today are A plus, as always, but today they are really spectacular. So number one is when the narrative is changed from young people seeing a challenge and getting drained or buried under it in the name of struggle, when they are made to know that they should be able to bring what they know to turn a challenge into an opportunity, those problems will be solved. I think today young people have not been pitched from the perspective of solutions and made them to understand that you only build resilience when you go through adversity. Adversity is the builder, it is the birthplace of resilience. And when you don't go through hardship and difficulty, you can never succeed because you learn in the process, you grow in the process, and it makes you resilient, meaning that you can withstand any stress that comes your way into the future. That is what needs to be done, and young people guided with. The second is the energy of young people, especially on social media, is wasted. It's about social media gossip, it's about complaining. But they're actually supposed to be in this spaces learning from the best and refining what the best have done and those who have gone beyond them with the tools they have in their hands. As then the old people also learn from them from the perspective of harnessing the tools they have to turn challenges to opportunities until the world balances and understand that each and every one plays a role, and that what the young people have and can do, they themselves who have gone ahead of them do not have, and that what they have, if they bring it and we meet in the middle with young people with what they have, then we can make collective progress. Until that conversation starts and until that starts to practically happen, I think that the challenges we face today may still be the same challenges we face by 2100.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I think that you brought up a very good point about if we don't leverage what we have today, our problems will still remain the same because what's going to happen if no one's doing anything? And this brings me to one of my final points is that how can we as a population, because there's a lot of divide even when we're trying to do these things, we see everyone as a threat or everyone as a competition. And what do you have to say about that? It's not necessarily a question, but how can we stop this divisive mentality and this rat race to the top, but instead be more collective? Because as we see, for example, with ants, they're very collective to make there's a proverb that's saying a bunch of ants can come and defeat a lion. I'm not sure
Right.
exactly what it is, but teamwork makes the dream work in essence. So what do you have to say about that? And what do you have to say about this devices, this solo me mentality, which is unfortunately taking the center stage within the continent, within the world today?
Yeah, I think it's as a result of naivety. Naivety from the perspective that people fail to understand that each and every individual have a unique aptitude, unique attitude, attributes that can be able to make them stand out. And he or she also have those attributes that can make them stand out. So everybody is uniquely met and uniquely important. And there's no way two people can be the same from a uniquely perspective. I can speak better. Other people may not speak, but they can write. Other people may not write, but they can be able to manufacture something in silence. So when we collectively harness the best in each and every one, we succeed. But when we think we can compete to be like the other, you can never be. You can only learn from those who know better than you. And thinking that you can outsmart them by fighting them is waste of time and waste of energy, and you end up losing. Because what I've learned is that you can never defeat a smart person. You want to think to defeat, he's already ahead of you 500 times. By the time you are trying to think that you will defeat him, he or she is already ahead. You will not succeed. You can only succeed with those who are not smart. And therefore, thinking that you can take away someone's shine because you don't want the person to be ahead of you is waste of time. Carry the person's bags. Like my grandmother used to say, when person pass, you carry bags. When somebody's above you, carry his or her bags and learn. And when you learn, you become better, and others will also learn from you. Until that mentality of understanding that people are smarter than others, and that the only way to gain from that smartness of the other people is to be submissive, and humble, then definitely they'll be in for a ride off.
Yeah, rough ride. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
rough
think you brought
ride.
up a good point. If you can't, in essence, if you can't beat them, join them.
That's
And
it.
yeah, so that's all I got.
And you cannot even beat them. If they're smarter, you not beat them. You can only join them and learn from there. Then you will grow together.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, thanks for reiterating on what we're discussing. And before we wrap up, do you have anything for me? Because that's all I've got.
Yes, I think we have
Teaching
done
these
very
questions.
well. We've done very well. And this, for those of you who are listening, this episode will be replayed, and share it and have a conversation with it if you can. What I just want to ask, it's not really asking something, but I just think just to add to the excellent parts that you've made, that for those who are listening, one of the things that we've always done in this mindset sport is to make sure that at least we can change our minds, because mindset change boils down to behavior change, and behavior change should not be about us thinking only about ourselves, but doing what we have never done to be able to achieve results. Results come as a result of us dedicated and saying, I will start doing this. Getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning might not be easy, but you have to get up. That entails discipline. So discipline become important. If you're not disciplined, then definitely you will not achieve that much, because ease is the biggest threat to progress. Over to you, Afu, to conclude.
Yeah, so as we wrap up, I just want to tell everyone thanks for watching, and I wish everyone a happy Father's Day. And if you have to leave with one thing, let's say you were asleep this entire episode, or you had a kid to feed, something. If you had to leave with just understand one thing, is that you have the power to make the tomorrow that you want to see. And by what I mean by this is you have the power to mentor, you have the power to act, and you have the power to be the change you want to see in the world. So if we wrap up, I just want to say keep on mentoring. And remember that together, a group of ants can defeat a lion, and teamwork makes the dream work. And if not, you're going to be in for a rough ride, and you will be going through a lot. But in order for us to mitigate these things, we must start with ourselves, and we must start to change our minds and open our hearts so that we too can be innovative volunteers and actors, and we too can be able to contribute to positive change.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks again, Afu, amazing, wonderful host of this show. Today, as you've all heard, we celebrate the fathers and father figures who make a difference in the lives of their children and the world around them. So happy Father's Day again to all of you. And thank for each and every one of you for joining us on this Mindset Sport. We hope this episode has inspired you to reflect on the incredible impact fathers have and the importance of their presence in each and everyone's life. Until then, it is the Mindset Sports, and stay tuned. Bye bye for now.
See everyone. Thank you for watching.